Hi, my name is Jan Driesman. I live here in Ames, Iowa, and I've lived here since '98. So, the cardiac arrest, I don't remember. The 3-day coma, I don't remember. The But the coma where I was in it, I was asleep for 6 days. They said it was a medicinal coma, and I was asleep for 6 days, and then I just woke up. That one I remember because the reason why I remember it is because there was this. It was a female voice that I heard, and I remember she took her thumb and she swept it over across my forehead so I could feel the sensors. My skin could feel the pressure of her thumb, and how it rubbed my forehead back and forth, and that was comforting to me. And then also I remember the sound of her voice sounded like a tunnel, muffled like, but then, and she called me by my real name. There was just this sense that had she called me by any other name, a nickname or any other name, I would not have responded. So during those 6 days, I know that I could hear people talking to me. I just couldn't respond back to them. And that's what I tell anybody that wants to know about a coma. It's very important that you talk to them. And she called me by my real name. And every time she did that, the sound would become normal or typical, not muffled and like a far away. And then she'd stop talking to me, and then I kind of drift, and the sound would begin to become more muffled again, but not as far away. And each time she did that, then I came closer and closer to the sound, and it didn't sound so muffled and so distant, I guess you'd call it. And then, so I was in, but it's different than sleeping. Sleeping, you don't realize that you're sleeping, I think. I have a situation where it's called chronic apnea, and so they tell me that every 6 minutes I stop breathing. But even with that situation going on, this 6-day coma was very different. I couldn't feel grounded. I couldn't feel God. I felt like I was searching, but I couldn't find Him. And it was the most horrible experience that for me personally, to have felt, because I needed to have Him, and I couldn't, I felt like He wasn't there. I just know that I kept trying. I wanted to talk to Him. I wanted to find Him much more than wanting to hear people's voices, even though I could hear people talking to me. The fact that I wanted to talk or have God to know that God was there with me, was the most important thing in my life at that time. Desperation was the first and foremost sensation I had. Was desperation of not having him there. I don't know how to explain being in a coma unless you experience it yourself. Just know that I was reaching out, I was grasping, and there wasn't anything that would stay in my hands. It just kind of like grabbing shadows maybe, or something like that. You see it, you know it's there, you grab it, but it's an illusion. And I needed him. I had to have him, and I don't know if I actually felt abandoned. I just felt like, I'm not really sure if I did. I just couldn't find him. I don't think I felt abandoned. I just couldn't find him. And it was the presence. I couldn't feel his presence. I couldn't find him to be with me. Like in this room, I know he's there. I just feel his presence. He's just, and it's not like I'm searching for him here. I just know he's here. Like I just know you're there. If I had my back, if I was facing the wall and my back was to the door and you entered the room, I would feel you. And that's what was missing. So, words, not having the right words limits my expressing of what I'm to convey that experience. So sometimes it's really hard to explain that. But I don't want anybody to have to experience it though either. So. Yeah, it changed. When people go through airplane accidents and they go, that changed me and I'm a different person, I don't know if I really had that dramatic change, because people go, well, did you go to heaven? Did you see God? Did you talk to God? Did you see your ancestors? Did you relatives? That wasn't the experience I had. But the sense of knowing there is a difference after that happened. There is a sense of not understanding, just of being. He's here. He's with me all the time. His presence is never gone. That's the difference. It's a calmness, it's not chaotic. It's not like praying in his spirit, praying for his presence to be here. I hear people say that sometimes, and I'm thinking, why are you praying his presence to be with you when it's like he's there with you? Why are you praying for something that's already there? But sometimes sometimes when you experience things that people don't typically experience, you just have to keep it to yourself, I guess, because there's no other way of explaining it. And there's that sense of inner strength, inner understanding, inner peacefulness that I'm on the road all the time with my wheelchair every day, all the time, and things happen like within a fraction of a second. I could be going one way and a car could be coming another way and neither one of us know. Or I got stuck on the railroad tracks. And I was scared. I was like, okay, God, I don't want that train to hit me. And I know there wasn't a train, but it can come at any time. But my wheels would not come out of the track. And that was like within a fraction of a second that happened. I was just all of a sudden stuck. And I said, okay, God, I know you're going to take care of me. And within a matter of a minute or so, the sidewalks on either side in that strip of area, there's really not very many people ever there. It's just usually by myself crossing. And two men down at the end of the block from the lights walked from the lights up in my direction. I didn't call them or anything until they got closer because they couldn't hear me. But they came and they helped me. Another time, a car almost ran straight into me, and I just was calm about it. The other person had to come out of the car and bend over because they were just so shook up about it. And I just said, God's right there. He was taking care of us. It's okay. So it had calmed her down. It's not like I don't get scared at times, but at the same time, there's that inner, like a tornado, the inner eye, maybe. There's chaos all around, but like it gets to the point where it's just calm. It's just God and I, and that is what is different about the experience before and after. It's just God and I all the time. I'm not saying I'm perfect. But I'm saying God loves me all the time. I can give him my rawest emotions and not be afraid that he's going to leave. He's just always there. Yeah. So, and I think that's the difference. I don't have to experience something from heaven to know that I don't have to worry about or be the change that there's. For me, life is going to be a continuation here on earth and in heaven. It's not like a separation of, well, I'm here on earth and in heaven it'll be different. Because I don't have to wait to go to heaven to have God with me. He's with me now. And that's just going to be a continuation.